It's a lot of fun. I mean, Japan for us was so much fun, wasn't it? We had
because that's what you're there to do.
It built our friendships to a whole different level. When I talk about building bonds and everything else, wow. I've still got pictures from you from Party On, which was
that? That was
a weird place where everyone was.
We went there 2 nights in a row.
I didn't. Well, it was still the same day for me.
Yes, that's very true. I think I went with you, went home to bed and did a day's work, and then came back. You were still at the same table.
Do you remember how good karaoke was? Like you'd never say, "Oh, I want to have a night out and I want to do karaoke." I thought we gash. It was.
We ended up with the winner of Japan's Pop Idol.
Crystal K, Crystal K, one of the most famous singers in Japan, singing Mariah Carey, and me and you go, bloody hell, she's good,
isn't she?
And then I said to I do some work for ISPS Handa, and I spoke to Midori, and I was like, oh yeah, it was random, we're doing karaoke with a girl called Crystal K. She was like, fuck off, you were. I was like, yeah, why? Who's Crystal K? She's like, probably Japan's best singing artist. And we were like, oh, actually, you can sing Mariah Carey quite well. I can tell you that.
There was one night when my friends came over. Do you remember that?
Yes,
oh God,
that was the night with the Canadians.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was, and they came over, and I basically was still up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then it was pouring with rain in Japan, and I was in a t-shirt and trousers.
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah, like standing in the middle of trying to get a taxi, and taxis were looking at me and just driving past, and I was honestly like so wet. I was beyond where it was like I'd been swimming. All these taxis, they wouldn't stop. I was like, please. I had to literally stand in the middle of the road to get one to stop.
But that was so funny. You'd be at so many traffic lights late at night. You're doing a 1 a.m. walk home, and there'd be a taxi that would pull up, and then a Japanese guy would stick his head out, spew on the floor, and shut the door because they all just got absolutely
They all fall asleep on their briefcase. Just have a little snooze for the night.
But it also bad because every rugby player that's ever played the game was staying in the middle of what was the area called
Shinjuku or no?
No.
Shibuya?
No, Shibuya is the junction, isn't it? What's the
Roppongi?
Roppongi.
Yeah.
Every single rugby player was staying in Roppongi, and there was a place called Club 212 or something. It was like everyone meeting at the clubhouse, and you go in there, and literally World Cup. There's literally again World Cup winners, 100 cappers, just around this bar. Everyone would walk in and go,
mad.
What? And then that bar would just kick off every night. So it'd be like, oh, I'll see you at the clubhouse.
I mean, I'd say that was a much more enjoyable tour. No pressure of playing.
Yeah.
No pressure of doing anything. Media didn't matter because it doesn't matter. No cares. No one's, James has to miss misbehaving again. Doesn't matter.
No.
So I'd say that's much more fun.
But also, we got out far more and actually saw the place. Obviously, we did Hiroshima. And we went up to, when England were playing in the quarters, we went up to Oita and we were going around the places where they wouldn't let you in because you had tattoos. You're like, you don't want to come in here, and we're like, okay, we won't go in there. Just moving on, and it was everything that sometimes you don't generally do on a tour because no one believes you when you go, oh, you've been all over the place tour. Yeah, but you see a rugby pitch, a team room, and a bus, and that's about it. Whereas I loved our tour because you actually get to go around and see anything, and fantastic railway system.
I would say it's the best tour I've ever been on.
2019.
Yeah.
The thing about Japan that was so extraordinary is how so we were there for 3 weeks. I think the first 2 weeks, the number of times we were utterly broken at 7 o'clock at night. Meet downstairs. It's going to be 15 minutes. We're all in bed and the lights out by 8, and we go out for a ramen at 7, and they just pop a little. What's the
sake?
Little sake in front of you.
But that was
then next thing you knew, it's 4 a.m. and you're in some sort of Dayglow nightclub with absolutely no idea how you got there.
That was the combination we created was a lager with a sake chaser. Yeah. That's what we had every single meal, and so we were basically doubling up on alcohol, and it just went down so well because they had little glasses. So you think,
and the fact that you could go into any restaurant, it might look like the biggest dive, and you still get a killer ramen.
Yeah.
There's a cockroach walking past it, but it still tasted so delicious.
I've never been in a city which picks you up and carries you into the night.
Yes,
like
I'd say it's the best city in the world.
And you have to look up and down rather than just left and right because you might miss some.
And then